Good morning and welcome to this week's assembly. As much as I've enjoyed being out on the playground playing, I heard that there is a great lesson on Incas and bridge building going on in 3rd grade. So let's head on in and see what we can learn about the bridge building.
Mayans and the Incas and the ancient civilizations, okay? So they built thousands of miles of roads to link one part of their huge empire with another. Just the way that we use roads today.
Hard to walk on like a mountain like this. So I bet they made the steps so like
Easier to walk on?
Yes.
Okay, Mira, what do you think?
I'm thinking, I can't quite remember, but I think that it was because it was easier for the llama to walk.
How they made bridges over the waterways. In the ancient times, they had to use rope and use sticks to kind of make these braided suspension bridges. So we're getting Legos to do the job for us today.
We were actually, maybe we could maybe keep going up and kind of make it like a cool square. So it'd be kind of like a cool design.
I'm really appreciating this center channel that you have, Nathan.
What I have right now.
Let me see, Max. Let me just pin your video so you can really see it. Nice job, Max.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Everything is awesome.
Hi, Mr. Wiesman.
Hi, Olivia.
I was just wondering, what inspired you to become a teacher?
Well, probably first and foremost, I'd say my mom. My mom has been a teacher both at the college level and high school level. And so I've always seen myself maybe going in that career path. But then ultimately, I really decided to become a teacher because of my one of my professors in college.
That's awesome. And when you're teaching, what is some of your favorite science experiments to do with the kids?
So for IB biology in particular, one of my favorite things that we do is the mesocosm experiment, where students make a tiny ecosystem in a jar, and it's closed off from all things around the jar. And so the idea is that energy comes in, and it's a closed ecosystem, and it's always interesting to see what students come up with for what they want to put in their jars.
Awesome. And what is something that we would find surprising about you?
Ooh. Well, I guess I usually get a surprising reaction when I say that I grew up with 5 siblings. So I'm the second oldest of 5. I have 4 sisters and 1 brother. So big fan.
Do you have any pets? Like, tell us about your pets.
This is Benji. Benji is a Bichon Poodle mix, and I've had him since he could fit into this shirt pocket. He was so tiny when we got him. He was the runt of the litter, and he's a great little dog. So, yeah.
Oh,
Little Benji.
Oh, I love that. And what are some things you like to do for fun besides spending time with Benji?
Oh yeah, of course. You know, outside of spending time with Benji, I like to spend time outdoors with my wife and daughter. We like to go on hikes, and we like to spend time on the water in the summer. So we spend a lot of time on a boat this summer. In the winter, I guess I kind of spend my time playing basketball when I can. And then also I've been skiing a little bit more recently, so that's been fun.
Nice. And do you have anything in your desk or classroom that has like a special significance to you?
So last year, Colin Young and his family, they got me this little stuffed, or I guess not stuffed, it's like a stress ball, I guess, but it's a tardigrade, and tardigrades are really cool. They're called water bears, and they exist in all types of extreme environments. They can exist in space. So they were sent up with a satellite one time, and they found that these can still exist and survive in space among a bunch of other extreme, crazy places. So they're pretty cool organisms.
What are you being for Halloween this year?
So one thing that my wife got last year was Incredibles. So praying mantis here, that is just ridiculous. I'm leaning towards this one, yeah, just because, yeah, I mean, look at it. I'm probably gonna wear one of those. I'm not sure yet.
Is Benji wearing a costume?
Last year, we actually dressed up as bees, and we got a little bee costume for Benji and for my daughter and for my wife. So that was pretty fun.
Hey guys, I just found Miss Dowland and Mr. Holdman having tea. I'd like to get to know you guys a lot better. What inspired you guys to be a teacher?
After a rough kindergarten year, in first grade, I adored my teacher. I would come home and line up all my stuffed animals on the couch, walk back and forth saying, "Stay on task." And I never let go of that dream, and here I am today.
Once I got into college, I really enjoyed learning and made some good relationships and identified with some of my professors. And that inspired me to get into teaching, and here I am today.
What do you guys like most about teaching English and history?
Well, the thing I like most about teaching English and history are the English and history students, of course. And then in regards to the content, I think it allows students to make so many connections to their personal lives. And, you know, there's always that question of why are we learning this? And a lot of times when you're teaching English and history, the answers are really clear. Just today we were talking about the steps towards the Revolutionary War, and students were making connections between events like the Boston Tea Party and the Boston Massacre and a lot of the protests and movements we see going around our country today. And that just like made my day to watch them and hear them make those types of connections.
My favorite thing is reading student writing. I love to get to know the kids through what they say as writers about their life stories or what they're thinking on topics. And sometimes I laugh out loud at kids writing. Sometimes I just sit and savor a really good sentence.
Do you all have a pet?
We have a cat. His name's Hobbs. He's 14 years old and he's very lazy. We got a little puppy. He's 4 months old. He's a golden retriever and his name is George, named after Curious George.
Where'd you grow up?
Well, after being born in Minnesota and then moving to San Diego, my dad joined the State Department. So we moved to Virginia. He got trained to be a diplomat. Then I moved to Senegal in West Africa. And then I moved to Algeria in North Africa. It helped me meet a lot of people from all over the world, and it gave me a sense of what it's like to look at life from the culture that you're living in.
Well, my answer is equally as exotic as Miss Dallen's. I grew up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
What's one of your favorite childhood books?
Well, besides the old dictionary here, I'd have to say my second favorite childhood book was Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. I loved reading this book with my mom growing up and talking about the poems and witnessing the wordplay that he used. It was always a book that stuck with me, and then now I get to read it with my own children.
I also have this dictionary that I love, and as a kid, it's hard for me to pick favorites, but I do remember loving the Babysitters Club series. My friends and I read them all, and we started our own Babysitters Club, and we would have contests on naming. If you say number 3, then I have to name what number Babysitters Club book that is.
Do you have any hobbies or favorite things to do?
Yeah, definitely. Given the time and the opportunity, I will be on a bicycle, whether that's a road bike or a mountain bike or just biking around with my children. Otherwise, hiking, being outside as much as possible, and then playing with my dog. And then also, I definitely love to read.
I really like to read, and I wish I had more time to do that. I also really like to run and be outside.
Do you have any advice for the year?
I think my best advice is to read fiction. I tend sometimes to choose nonfiction and feel like I am learning something, but when I get to read fiction, I feel like I'm escaping and getting to know new people.
My advice for the year would be to ask questions and seek help. Teachers love it when students reach out with questions and seek us out and ask for help. That shows us that you care, that shows us you're engaged. And I guess my other piece of advice would be to wear a mask.
Oh, Mr. Holdman, have you ever heard this one before? Lardy-dardy.
Fascinating. What does it mean?
Characterized by excessive elegance, chiefly British slang.
So pretty much me.
You are lardy-dardy.
Excellent.
Now it's time for birthdays. So a huge birthday shout out to Kira, Kenzie, Aunt Olivia, Georgia, Miranda, Varun, Aturv, and Louisa. I hope you have a great birthday.
Thank you.